not end well.
Anything is possible in Havoc's domain.
There will be blood.
Embrace chaos.
This crisis ends. We settle our differences.
This is what you are meant to do.
I am not allowed to desire a different future.
Your desires are not at issue. It is your methods for achieving them.
Hello everybody and welcome to the 22nd episode of the Poseidcast. As you guys could see previously, Chaos Reigns is coming out this week, this Tuesday, the 24th. I absolutely cannot wait. We're getting a huge patch. We're getting 3 DLC characters. We're getting tower modes. We're getting a lot of stuff. It's buffs, cameos, and characters. We're getting a lot of stuff. It's going to be a huge balance patch with multiple characters getting in. It looks like it's going to just be really cool. It seems like they're going in a really positive direction. As you guys know, previously I have been doing my podcast with other people. And this episode was actually supposed to be that. I was supposed to interview one of my close friends, Sir Burrito Bandit. You guys probably know him if you guys have come by my streams or have been watching Survivor TV for a while. I used to commentate a bunch, stuff like that. We did a podcast last night. We got about an hour in, and one of my cats unplugged my computer, so I lost the entire podcast. We were like an hour in. It was kind of late, so we just decided to call it a night. And we're going to record that episode later on. But I need something for today. And I was thinking of maybe just skipping it. But I decided maybe I'll go a little old school and do how I used to do the old Poseidcast episodes. We got topics over here. Got to remember that over to the right of me, which is the left of how I point. And we got some topics for today. First one's going to be, we're going to talk over, will Chaos Reigns save Mortal Kombat 1? I personally don't think it needs saving, but a lot of people do. So we will get into that Mortal Kombat. We'll get into that topic. Second one, we're going to talk about recent tournaments that have happened. We haven't had anything big in North America after EVO, besides maybe like Defend the North, but that wasn't like a huge tournament. So we haven't had anything big, but there were 2 big tournaments that had happened. One happened in Europe, one happened in South America. So we're going to talk over those and talk over the results because those are 2 really big regions that are on par with North America. Then we're going to talk about tournaments we have coming up, in just various major tournaments going from now to like January-ish. Just after Chaos Reigns drops, we have a string of tournaments that will be coming. We'll talk over those, maybe some players we can expect to see and dates and stuff like that. And then we're going to talk about my problem with the Mortal Kombat community. I feel like we have a lot of people who don't like the game or don't like the way WB goes about it, and in return end up harming grassroots communities and things like that. Like a lot of these tournaments that are ran, that you're like, oh, don't go to these tournaments. Like, you don't want to support WB. The thing is, those are the same people that are buying the DLC right away and paying WB money. You not attending your local or tournament that's a few hours away, or even a lot of major tournaments that have no affiliation with NRS and not competing in Mortal Kombat 1 isn't going to hurt WB in the slightest, and only will harm the competitive community. We'll talk about that, though, later. So we're talking about the first topic, which is going to be, will Chaos Reigns save Mortal Kombat 1? And as I said, I don't think it needs saving, but we have a ton to expect. I wrote a little list over here. So we have animalities coming. That's a really cool thing. We got a story mode, and this is the first time that I'm actually excited for the story. I made that little thing in the beginning just to show that, it's cool. I'm actually excited. I might cop right into the story mode. I usually am one to just allow the characters. I don't even play the story mode, but that might be the first thing that I do. That's an exciting aspect of it. We got buffs to characters like Havoc, Shang, Garrus, Omni-Man. Even Tanya's getting like a little bit of a rework, which I think is a really good direction for interesting. I know people like hate nerfs. They want characters nerfed, but then they get nerfed, and they talk about how bad it is to nerf characters, and they say they do more nerfs than buffs. And what they're doing with Tanya, and I think they're doing with Lau as well, is a rework of the character rather than just taking something away. They're going to take away her really broken armor move that had multiple hits that launched on block or launched on hit. It was plus on block with certain cameos, and now made it so it's only one hit. It's a high. Someone told me, I can't confirm that. But supposedly it's a high, and what they did to counteract that, instead of just taking that away, was they made it so she can like teleport after her slide move with the buff up, which is a way to potentially get combo extensions and things like that. Maybe make it safe, maybe make it so she has some like approaching options. Seems really cool. It seems like a really good rework. What it also seems like they're doing with Kung Lao is that they are making it so his spin, so he has 2 armor moves currently. His spin move, which isn't really useful, it has like 2 hits of armor, but that's basically the only reason people really use it. You can kind of move in and out, and it's interesting. I haven't seen it used a ton, only for some niche situations, but it looked like they buffed that. And from what I hear, they're taking away his other armor move, the punch move, and probably just taking armor off of that, so maybe keeping it the same, or maybe making it a launcher, but you don't get armor, and it launches by itself rather than needing a cameo. So that's what I hear. I'm not 100% sure how that's going to work, but I think that's a really good direction. Havoc is getting, a quicker armor move, and that like combo extends. So it seems like he's gonna have more options. I think they maybe applied some other buffs. I'm actually not 100% sure. It seems like his unblockable comes out a lot quicker as well. So I think that will be really strong for him. Shang Tsung is getting a move that's like a multi-hit low, so I think it's like a 2 or 3 strings in a row or lows. He's also getting where he can transform mid-combo into the other person's cameo, and it looks like a potential combo extension. Depends on the cameo, obviously, but with Sonya, he got the leg grab. He was able to do that mid-combo and then move right back into Shang, so not only can he morph into his opponent's character, but he can actually do some of the cameo moves, it looks like, as well. I think that's a really good buff. Garrus, from what we know, his overhead kick move that he kind of flies with, is going to launch, at least somewhat. So instead of just doing a knockdown, it's going to launch, so you might be able to get combos in the corner or get combos with a cameo. It doesn't look like it goes right into just a normal launcher. So you might need a little assistance like the corner or cameo, but still seems really strong. Omni-Man, same thing with his forward 2, now kind of pops up a little bit, so you might be able to get combo extensions in the corner, maybe even screen. It depends, I guess. Maybe we weren't able to see all of it, and definitely with cameo that can make it work. And then we got buffs to some cameos we've seen, like Shujinko, Sonya, Sub-Zero, Lau, and Jax. So with Shujinko, it looks like he gets like a move that puts you into a crumple state. Crumple state is where you kind of fall over. So you can get a combo extender similar to Astra's 2-1. Where that puts you in like that state, so you'll be able to do a move like that just base. So it looks like any character you're fighting against, Shujinko will have that move. Seems like a universal combo, and you can also do like an overhead, so you can do like the jab and overhead move that Shujinko just has at base. Seems really cool, more useful for Shujinko. Really trying to evolve that character. Sonya is getting an additional move. We didn't see a ton on it, so I'm not sure. It seems like it's a potential another combo extender. Maybe you can catch him out of the air, or does something that like kind of like combo extends. So we'll see. I don't even know if it's ambush or summon. Sub-Zero cameo is getting like a parry move where you can go out, and if they hit it, you get frozen. Lau is getting the orbiting hat, which might be broken. I don't know. They kind of nerfed Lau. They're like nerf. They did like 4 straight patches with all like Lau cameo nerfs, and then they now they finally buffing it. So it's interesting. I've never seen like, and they're buffing Striker too. Like he's getting like he can now bounce with the grenades. So if you do a combo and the grenades hit him, it'll kind of great. So potentially could do some combo extensions, stuff like that. It's exciting to see. I really like Striker at the beginning of this game, so we'll see if that move's any useful. And I know Jax has like a cameo move where he can get the attack the other person's cameo, probably do some damage, or just put on cooldown, kind of a way to neutralize your opponent's cameo. If you make a read that they're going to use the cameo, you can send it out and it nullifies that. That'll help with some things like unsafe move in the cameo, or potential setups. So that seems really cool. I think Chaos Rams has a lot. I think they're going in a really good direction like I said, the story mode seems fun. It seems like they're adding more single player things like towers, so people who aren't really online are getting an additional thing. I think that's really cool because appealing to the casual community is, you know, a really big thing. That's where most of the money that they get comes in. And I think like a lot of people said it, like, you know, we play the game competitively, a lot of us. Like, I feel like a lot of people who are, you know, watching my content play the game competitively, they may not, and that's completely fine. But we think to like, oh, they just cater to the casual community. But like, if we finding a way to bridge those people, the casual people, to the competitive side of the community, and make them see like, hey, there's a lot more to this game that goes into it, I think that's critical, and we definitely need to focus more on that. That's kind of like a side thing we're talking about. Chaos reigns there, but do you guys think this is going to save the game? Because it seems like they're potentially going to normalize some characters, they're going to buff some characters, adding more moves, adding more cameos, kind of maybe changing the way the game works. It seems like there's, you know, a lot coming, huge update with the game. The characters, we're getting 3, we're getting Noob, we're getting Sector, we're getting Cyrax. All seem really cool. I'm excited to play Sector and Noob. Cyrax seems cool, but that's like the third one on my personal one. I just love Sector from previous Mortal Kombat games, and then Noob just looks so cool. I've always like thought Noob was a cool character in general, just like lore-wise and stuff like that, or like the way he looked even when I was younger playing the game. Oh, but he looks so cool in this game. I think they did a really good job. The rewrite of the story, where Havoc kind of changes, you know, Sub-Zero into Noob. It's really interesting. It's really cool. I am excited for the story, the whole thing that's coming, and like, you know, I said, coming up on these. We're going to be having tournaments coming up, and this is kind of like personally worked really well around my schedule, because I have a big Smash tournament coming up this weekend. So the last couple of weeks I've been really grinding Super Smash Bros. Melee, and it kind of works out perfectly because this tournament is tomorrow, Saturday the 21st for me, and then Chaos Reign comes out, so it's like a nice little break. I was able to focus on the side of the game, and now I'm going to be able to come back to MK when this new DLC comes out. I've been playing here and there, playing in tournaments to kind of keep up. It's a nice way to like practice. Like, I would say I haven't been crushing it. You haven't seen me like posting like top 8 graphics or anything like that, because, you know, I haven't made the top 8s. But it's a nice way to like stay in shape, and kind of like, as I would go in warm up like 4 or 5 tournament sets, and then it was just kind of the practice I've been using. So the rest of my free time has been put into my real life over practicing Smash. So yeah, I think that works out really well. I think the timing is good. We're about a year in. I think this is going to be really huge. So I said, let me know in the comments. Do you guys think Mortal Kombat will be saved with Chaos Reigns, or do you believe it's not going to be? And the game's doomed already. Do you believe that? One more thing I will talk about before we get into the next topic is that there is a big thing surrounding Chaos Reigns, and now I know everyone's hype on it because we're about to get it. And we saw all the trailers, and we saw the combat casts and stuff. Is that the price point at $50? That is a bit high, definitely, for a DLC where you're getting just a story mode expansion where a lot of people don't even care about the story, me included, and 6 characters, and that's it. Not even any cameos, no new modes. You don't really get rewarded if you bought the premium edition, which was like $130, and we bought that like a year ago. And now you have to pay full price, another $50 for this. And the way I look at it, I know a lot of other people when I share, is that we're getting 6 characters. If I get an hour of free time out of each character, that is less than $10 an hour to, you know, do something. And like, if you go to like the movies or something like that, the tickets are like $15. That's generally like the same thing, you know what I mean? Like, when you go out to eat, you're going to be spending at least a quarter of that, maybe half that. You know what I mean? So if the fact that I'll get multiple nights, I'll get weeks on weeks of nights of enjoyment out of this DLC, and at least, you know, 3-4 hours in the story mode, and hours on the characters. Like, if I just, like I said, if I get 1 hour each, which is a grave underestimation for all of them, definitely. But certainly like Noob and Sector on Scream seems really cool too. Ghostface. So I do look forward to you know, all of that coming out and stuff like that. And I think the $50 price point, although it is high, I don't really have a problem with it, because I'm going to get more than, you know, 5 hours of play time. I'll get 50, 60 probably between all the characters, and that's probably a great understatement. So like $1 an hour. I don't think I really have a problem with the price point. It would be nice if it was cheaper, more access to other people, and, you know, not having to spend that much when I also just bought the game a little over a year ago for over $100. But you get a lot of playtime out of it, and instead of you go bowling or you do really any activity, you're going to be spending what you would spend if you played each of those characters for 1 hour. We're talking about some of these recent tournaments that have happened. We had some big online tournaments, you know, Champion of the Realm versus Rips Arena, and there's a big crew battle happening tomorrow night between STG and ELG, kind of the third one. They're 1-1 a pop, and they're like the two best teams, so it's kind of like which Mortal Kombat team is the best in the world currently right now. Actually, maybe debatably Panther, but at least in North America, what is the best Mortal Kombat team will probably be decided Saturday on Aquaman stream. That's going to be crazy. I'm going to start some of these offline tournaments that have happened. So we had, in Europe, we had Versus Fighting, and that was a tournament that Connie Mani won. This tournament was pretty stacked. So top 8 winner side was VGY, Foxy Grandpa, Connie Mani, and Gotham City Goon, who I found out to be Sonic Ninja. Very, very good EU player. So Connie Mani won the tournament, VGY got second, Foxy Grandpa got third, and Foxy got, you know, it's just like, I don't think this is the tournament that he's entered, or there's a tournament that he entered outside of UFA since UFA, yeah. That was like almost a year ago. That was over 8 months ago, over half a year ago. And still coming out, still showing that he can play. Seems like he's really focused on like content and stuff like that, or whatever he's got going on in his real life, but still streams all the time, still super good at the game, was able to get third place, losing to Connie Mani, who one of the best players in the world, top 10 player in the world, and VGY, another top player in the world. And it seems like outside of like Connie, VGY, and Javier, who are probably the top 3 in Europe currently, Foxy Grandpa can kind of just beat anyone. It's what it's kind of looking like. We'll see, you know, how much it goes if there's more tournaments happening and stuff, because he was able to beat VGY in winner side as well. But then he, Uvility got 4th. That was a really good showing. I haven't seen Uvility show up to a lot of offline tournaments, so one of their first, if not their first, and did that good. Very, very impressive stuff. 5th place was Def Tat and Gotham City Goon, who's Sonic Ninja. And then top 8 was a guy named Bob Dole, who got 7th place. I don't know who that is. Bob Dole, good stuff. Very, very, very impressive. And Noogie, that rounds out the top 8. So people that got 9th place, we had Josh GQ, Heroes, the Reptile player. We had Omega K, General Shao player, and Martian Eater, the Nitara player, all got 9th place. We're 1 set away from top 8. And that rounds up kind of that tournament that happened. We can kind of dissect some of the matches that happened here. Like I said, Connie won the tournament straight sets, didn't drop a set, beat Gotham City Goon, Foxy, and VGY, so beat all the winner side top 8 in the top 8. So literally probably had the hardest path he could have had. Still able to win it, so kind of showing that he's just one of the best players, and only losing 1 set at Final Kombat to Scorpion Prox. And that's like the only tournament set we've seen him lose offline since UFA, where he lost to Tekken Master twice. So it's like this guy is absolutely nuts. Top 10 player in the world. I had him ranked 10th. This tournament obviously happened in August, which was over a month after the last season ended. So this is definitely a strong start for Connie Mani to improve his ranking. BGY getting 2nd, I don't think that would really harm him. He finished 7th overall in the got 7th at Final Kombat and gets, I think, 8th in the top 100 ranking, or 7th. I think he might have placed over Combat. I think he was actually 7th. I don't think it was part of his placement. Foxy Grandpa didn't have participation, so it is based off a certain amount of participation. As I said, he hasn't really competed in anything since UFA. And so for last season, he just didn't have enough participation to be on it, but definitely certainly in the discussion for top 10 player. Uvility, not someone who has been on either top 100 ranking, not a ton of participation. It's kind of hard, in Europe if you're not competing in Whips Arena all the time, which they probably are. It's just like, if you're not competing offline and you're not in North America, it's kind of like hard to keep track of. And that's kind of like one of the mistakes that I made with like the top 100 ranking in general, is that like there's no database of players, so you can't just go through and be like, every player that's entered a Mortal Kombat 1 tournament, it just gives you them and you click on them and it shows the results. It's like, it's not that simple. at all. So you have to basically like hunt down these brackets and stuff like that. There isn't like a universal center because like not everyone uses Start GG because a lot of tournaments do show up on Start GG, but then not all the tournaments are, and so people run really big tournaments on Start GG. So it could be tournaments that don't happen on Start GG. Can be very easy to fall through the cracks. It can be kind of hard. But I digress. Utility, someone who probably will be next top 100. DefTat, that name sounds really familiar. I feel like they did good at UFA as well. I think so. It's a name I've seen around, for sure. Got the Sweetie Good, Sonic Ninja, I feel like a legend from previous NRS games. You really had to do the beeping right now. They had to do the beeping right now. I don't know. But yeah, just a very familiar name. Definitely a good player, potentially like in the Racer Top 100. Noogie, someone I see put in a ton of work. Dude, shout out to Noogie. What an absolute goat that man is. Constantly streaming, pushing Melina really far. Eventually a top 100 player. Getting top 8 here, that's a big statement for them, showing that they are in fact one of the best online players, or best online, but one of the best players in EU, showing up to this big tournament and doing super well. And then Bob Dole, someone, I feel like the name does sound familiar. I think I said they didn't sound familiar, but I think they kind of do, but definitely someone you have to look into. Josh DQ, ranked in the top 50. This is definitely a tournament that you would expect him probably in that top 4. Like it would probably be like, if I had to seed it, probably like Connie, Video Games, Foxy, then Josh DQ. So let's check, see, who do you lose to in winners? Because he lost to Bob Dole in losers. Bob Dole obviously went on a run to top 8, so that's not like worse loss. And then he lost to Sonic Ninja game 5. So I think he lost both those sets game 5. He lost both those sets game 5. So it's like, I don't know if you can hold that much too much against him. It's one tournament. He won game 5. Sometimes it just happens. I still think it was a good one. Heroes lost to DefTat for top 8, game 5. And he lost to, who did he lose to? He lost to Foxy. So he lost to Foxy, game 5 in DefTat. So Hero's very, very good player. Reptile player. Reptile Kano. He's the one who kind of got me believing in that character before Sony got buffed. If Sony didn't get buffed, I would probably be on Reptile Kano right now. And mainly him and Zero are the ones that really got me into. Omega K lost to Noogie 3-1. Shao, not just downplay Noogie at all, but that's like an understandable. Like I've seen, if you look at like the charts, like Melina versus Shao in competitive, especially like offline, it's like 10-1. Like Melina players, like Dialogue, best Shao Kahn player or General Shao in the world, loses to Perfect Shinny and Violets at Frosty Frosting to get 7. Both Melina players, both top 100 Melina players, obviously. But obviously, we saw Dialogue is absolutely nuts, getting top 8 at Evo or top 6 at Evo, winning CEO and Texas Showdown. The guy's absolutely nuts. And Omega K lost to Foxy 3-2. And then lost to 3-1. So, Animal Martian Eater, last person to get 9th, lost to Uvility. Martian Eater looks like went on a bit of a loser from them. They lost super early in the winner's side. They lost to Noogie, understandable. They lost to Noogie, got a few good wins. Beat Medium Ninja, that's a really good move. Medium Ninja, really good. Yeah. And lost to Uvility 3-1. So, yeah, that's a good run. All those players eventually, on the ballot for definitely a top 100 spot for sure. Definitely they're very, very good runs. Here, big tournament that happened. That happened in Europe. It was Versus Fighting. Shout out to Ketchup and Mustard for hosting that tournament. Amazing stuff. Amazing stuff. All right, so we're going to go to here. We're going to go, forget my Portuguese. Comite? It's in Sao Paulo, Brazil. One of the bigger cities down there. This was obviously a tournament that happened in Brazil that Lavender Rain won with Takeda. So if you're not familiar with this this tournament, maybe that's why you're on the Takeda downplay. But to win a tournament in Brazil that have players like Conqueror, Killer Shinnok, and Zeus in attendance, and you're able to win with Takeda, I don't know. That's getting Lavender could just be like better. He could just be the best. But I don't know. I think Takeda's really strong. Let's just, But, we'll talk about it. So Lavender Rain wins. Lost in loser, or winner's side. Lost in loser's side. If lost in loser's, he would have been eliminated. He wouldn't have won the tournament. Lost in winner's side to Conqueror. Beats Little Kronos, who got 3rd. Little Kronos won an absolute tear. I think with Garrus Rain. I think that's who they played. Shout out to Little Kronos. The guy is nuts. Beat Zeus. Zeus got 4th. Zeus, the guy who got top 3 at EVO, the guy who beat Mighty Unjust at Final Combat, beat Mighty Unjust and Nicholas at EVO, got 4th. Beat Gustavo. Who did he lose? He lost to Lavender. This Lavender Rain kind of showed up and really messed up the tournament. Alco Verde getting 5th place. That's the goat right there. Last I know, Ashra Kenji, I'm not 100% who they played. Sangue Frio, top 100 player, finished in like the top 80. I think he plays Baraka. I think he has a few characters in the sleeve. Maybe Reiko in there. Maybe some other characters these days. And then we have Dudustini. I can't read Portuguese, so that might be like a name that's like common in the area or something like that. Got 7th, and then Smoke, BRYZ Smoke. I just call him Smoke. I'm just gonna call him Smoke. Got 7th as well. So that kind of rounds up the top 8. So let's dissect that a little bit. Lavender Rain winning with Takeda. Let me look back at Lavender Rain because Killer Jernok wasn't in the top 8 here. Killer Jernok qualified for Final Combat on points. There was a tournament that happened in Brazil, and it doesn't even look like he made top 16 with Morbillo. And oh my god, Lavender had to beat Murillo who got top 8 at the Brazil Pro Comp. Had to beat them just to get out of pools. So this one, like literally, like an insanely hard path. Top 8 at Brazil Pro Comp has to beat Zeus. Then has to fight. Who did Lavender fight? Winterside had to fight Sangue Frio, a top 100 player. Conqueror, loses to Conqueror, then beats Low Kronos, who won an absolute tear and kind of eliminated all the other like top 100 players in the pool, like Zeus and Sangue Frio. And then beats Conqueror and then resets and then wins again. That's just what a run! Absolute, very impressive stuff. This guy is insane, and as people believe in Nikita. Conqueror, second place. I gotta find where Killer Jernok was. Hold on one second. I'm sorry, guys. Like, where'd that guy go? Where did that guy go? That's like, you'd think he'd probably be like the number 1 player, maybe number 2 behind Zeus. Yeah. Killer Jernok lost to Smoke, and then he lost to the Dudustini guy who got top 8. Didn't even make top 16. That's crazy. That is a crazy, crazy statement. A Brazil major that didn't even have like all the players, had a lot of the good ones, but not like all the way. I don't see like Agamotto was in the bracket, or like Brian Loren. But still a very stacked tournament nonetheless. But not even a top 16 is crazy for Killer Jernok. So Conqueror got 2nd. The Little Kronos, we go over his run, beat Smoke, beat Sangue Frio, beat Zeus, beat Murillo, beat Fezogade. Oh my god. No, wait, no, he didn't beat Zeus. No. Kronos lost to Conqueror. Marabella, okay, Murillo. I was going to say, like, I was going to say that would have been, like, this guy is the best ever. He did beat Gustavo Page. So wins his first step, beats Gustavo Page, top 100 player, just to make Winterside top 16, loses to Conqueror, beats Murillo, top 8 of Brazil, first Pro Comp, beats Smoke, beat Killer Jernok, beats Sangue Frio, top 100 player, beats Zeus, top 3 at EVO, to get to this spot. Absolutely insane. I think it was with Garrus Reagan, so absolutely crazy run. Gotta be on the map for one of the best players in the world. Zeus at 4th. Top 3 deals. Just because I think even 4th here is still like a very consistent run, because this is like a major tournament in Brazil, and Brazil is absolutely stacked to the brim. Like, this had so many top 100 players. There are so many players who were in the discussion or top 8 in other big tournaments and stuff. So a 4th place here is like not what we would expect. You probably expect Zeus to win this tournament, but not a bad tournament at all. Aqua Verde, this seems like a really big, like, I think they were in top 8 at one of the Brazil like online top 8s. I don't think they made like the finale. Very, very good player, super good in the middle and the end of MK11. Probably in the beginning too, I just didn't know them then, but one of the best players in the world, absolutely insane. Sangue Frio, top 100 level player. Let's check their run. Let's check Aqua Verde's run too. So, Aqua Verde beat Smoke in winners to make Winterside top 8. Sangue Frio beat Duanzin's Show. I don't know who that is, so we roll with you. That they beat Fezogabe. So the Segway Field was supposed to fight Fezogabe, who top 100 Sindel player, very, very good. Won the first Brazil online pro comp top 8. So obviously very insane player. But so Sengoy had to be a few players flame to get out into winner side top 16, then beat the guy who beat Fezogabe, just didn't show. Had to get top 8, and then lost to Lavender, and then lost to Little Kronos. And then we got Dudustini. I hope I'm pronouncing the name right. I do apologize. 7th place. Yeah, 7th place. Let me check out their run. Dudustini beat I don't know who that is. I'm sorry. And then beat the Johnson Show. A lot of names. Okay, I'm bad with names, right? I'm sorry. Johnson Show to get top 8. That was the person who beat Fezogabe. Who did Dudustini lose to? Dudustini lost to Aqua Verde, and then beat Killer Shinnok. Okay, so that. I mean, obviously, all of the good players, but they are a very good player. they eliminate Killer Shinnok to make top 16, and then made it all the way to top 8. That is crazy. I don't know what character they play. But yeah, and then Smoke. What was Smoke? I think Smoke eliminated Killer Shinnok. Smoke beat Killer Shinnok winner side. Went down beat Rick Ramos. Beat Rick Ramos for top 8. Beat Killer Shinnok, and then those two players definitely on like a top 100, probably fringe top 100 players. Aqua Verde as well, probably a little bit higher than that with the run. Low Kronos, top probably 50 player at this point. Zeus probably still in like a top 20 discussion about how they did at Evo. Probably higher. Probably top 10 discussion for sure. Still, even with this run. Conquer, another very consistent run, 2nd place. So, yeah, that's going to round up this tournament. This was Kombat. I'll leave the links to both Versus Fighting and Kombat in the description if everyone wants to look over those brackets. We'll talk about tournaments we have coming up. So we have a few that are happening in North America before the end of 2024. Right after Chaos Reigns comes out too. So I don't even know if Chaos Reigns is going to be legal at these tournaments. Maybe one will, one won't. Who knows? But first off, we got DreamHack Atlanta coming up October 4th through the 6th. That's going to be happening in Georgia. I would say Atlanta, Georgia. $1,500 pop for the game. I'm not sure DreamHack does it. Like, I think you have to buy like a ticket to the DreamHack like convention, and then like it's like $1 to enter the tournament, but that $1 doesn't even go towards the prize pool. So I think it's just a $15 pot, and then you pay the venue fee and stuff. $1,500 pot, but I could be wrong. But a lot of people are probably from the Florida, Georgia, Tennessee, that area, that kind of the southeast. Will be a big tournament for them. Like Just Nasty might be there. It's probably gonna be a pretty stacked tournament. I'm definitely gonna get back to making the videos of kind of talking about the tournaments before they happen. That's going to be happening October 4th through the 6th. Then we got ECT and First Attack coming up that following weekend from the 11th to the 13th. The schedules are not out yet for these tournaments, so I'll definitely make sure to let you know. If you want to sub to the channel, I'll make videos and it'll show all the information where to watch it, players to look out for, all that jazz and nonsense. 11th through the 13th, that tournament's happening in Connecticut, so that's going to be a lot of tri-state, a lot of that northeast, another one of the big powerhouse regions for Mortal Kombat that's going to be there. So you'll see people like Hercules, Rio, Alphabet, most likely maybe Mike Metroid and Cosner, players like that. Maybe we'll see like Pulse or like Just. I think Big Daddy said they're going, so it's going to be a pretty stacked tournament for sure. Then that same week we have First Attack, which is a tournament that's going to be happening in Puerto Rico. So some of the South America scene, some of the Caribbean scene would be there. People like Chiquelo, people like Yadriel El Punk, maybe Euphoring, people probably like around that area might be heading out to that tournament. So that would be cool. Major ask maybe a see some of the players here. Okay, it's not showing me. Normally bigger tournaments won't show you who signed up yet. So not 100% that who's going to be there for MK, but going to be a big tournament happening the same weekend as ECT. Probably make a video about probably conjoin ECT and First Attack happening this weekend. I'm going to talk about that. That'll be cool. And then the beginning of November, we have in the Dominican Republic, Blink Respawn, another one of the tournaments happening in the island. We had people like Gustavo Page, well, last year Blink Respawn and won it. You know, Jaquelo, his region, probably the favorite to win. Because he handled both those, that'd be really cool. I think the Flame Twins said they were going to go there, so Nicolas, Scorpion Pass is going to be there. So that might draw a lot of people, might get some people from Brazil, some people like Zeus. So this is going to be a really big tournament as well. I really look forward to watching that and looking at the bracket, kind of doing predictions and discussing what happened there as well. I don't know, I think it's a really exciting time with Chaos Reigns happening, and we're kind of getting back to some of these offlines. And we're probably going to have a little bit of another lull because of like winter and stuff. So we'll have Frosties in January. Then it might dry up a little bit, and we'll give like Texas Showdown in April. So like we'll have a couple months, and then maybe get back to the big summer of MK where it's like Texas Showdown, Combo Breaker, CEO, Evo, kind of like that run of tournaments. But yeah, I said it's an exciting time. Big DLC patch tournaments coming up. I had a few big tournaments that happened that was fun to discuss and go over. I'm gonna get on this last topic. It's my problem with the MK community, and it's a matter of when we spread negativity about the game, we talk about how bad it is. It's not gonna make people want to get into it. So something that's kind of like, I don't say like, I guess it has like actually genuinely made me sad is I play Smash. I'm involved in the Smash community. I run tournaments for Smash. I've gone to dozens and dozens of tournaments. I can even show you guys like all the badges and stuff for the tournaments I've been to. This is not even all of them. And a lot of these are Smash tournaments. Like I can't even like grab all of them. There's just more. Like I said, like not even all the ones in here aren't all of them. There's just more. And a lot of these are Smash tournaments. So something I see. Oh my god, how many more are there? This is just, like I said, this is just what I have in here. There's like some definitely more scattered throughout the house. Let me get this. But yeah, so I've been to a few tournaments. And casual here, casual. And I have a lot of friends in the Smash community, and they talk about like, oh, I'm gonna get into a fighting game, maybe like Guilty Gear, or Street Fighter, and I'm like, MK? And they're like, I don't know what game I'm gonna get into, but definitely not MK. Like every single time. And sometimes they a lot of times they just said they don't even know. They're just like, oh, I've been trying a few games here and there, and they're like, they won't even give MK a chance. It's not even like they're like, I'll try it and see. I'll play it. You know what I mean? Like not even like live. They could have been like, I'll try it maybe, and like, cause they know I'm in MK. They're just like, no, definitely not MK. Like and it seems like this perception that's online. If you go on these websites, it's like a lot of stuff that's talking about the game. Like there's a lot of people that do make really great content around just the game. And watch people like Diff, or even like Mike Trolinsky, or people like Sonifox or Ninja, who just post out like all this cool content. But there's just so much like just talking bad about it for like seemingly no reason. Like if you really didn't like it that much, you could just not play it. But it's like people want to build this idea, and it's like the entire FGC. Like people even want to see like MK fail. Like I posted like, oh, maybe we could just be happy that because like the Evo numbers were low, and it was like maybe we could just be happy that we're even at Evo. People were like, I don't even want MK at Evo. It's like, why? Like you're gonna enter all 8 games? Like you're probably gonna enter like 2 or 3 at most. So like, why does it matter what the other games are? You know what I mean? Especially if it's people that want them, and people that have shown up, and people that have had those tournaments for a while. You know what I mean? And like, I think it's a bad sentiment. It's like so common to trash on the game. Talking highly about the game will almost get you more backlash than trashing on the game, unless you overdo it. You know what I mean? Like there's people that overdo it, and people do fight back, but I don't know. It's like you're glazing the game, or you're a dick rider. People like to call me that. Like, I've been called that a lot. And I guess it's like I can't even like the game. You know what I mean? Like I'm like just for generally enjoying the game, being like I like Mortal Kombat 1. I loved MK11. You get like it's just so strange and interesting, and I feel like it really harms the way that people view our scene and makes people not want to get into it. And even though we have so many people, debatably in terms of like people, just overall people who play the game, the highest of fighting games, we have the lowest competitive scene. And I think it's just the bridge between. It just seems like it's so fluid with Tekken, so fluid with Street Fighter. And it's like people will talk about like, oh, that's because of how the game is made and stuff. I think that's how the community works too. And, you know, now that they got all these big things and stuff like that, and people want to do tournaments, like DreamHack is not affiliated with any of the games. 10k pop bonus for Street Fighter, 10k pop bonus for Tekken. Mortal Kombat, 1,500. That is about 8 times lower than what Tekken and Street Fighter are getting. And this is for a tournament that's not affiliated with any of those. Like, I know sometimes there's like qualifying, so maybe there's some sort of qualifier here that I'm not 100% familiar with. It doesn't show it right here. So that could be the case, and I could be wrong, but it just seems like, and like I said, I come from the Smash community. There's a lot of Smash tournaments that host other fighting games. Like Genesis 9 was about 3 months after Mortal Kombat 1 came out. They had fighting games like Street Fighter versus, or like Capcom versus SNK 2. They had so many fighting games, all the like Tekken, Street Fighter, Guilty Gear, Grand Blue. 3 months after MK came out, they didn't have MK. Maybe it was because like, oh, it's a Nintendo event and, you know, they don't want to have this really violent game there. That could have been the reason, but I don't know. It's a possibility, but you just never see them at these like Smash tournaments that are also doing fighting games, and it's just, it stinks because I would love to, you know, I love going to tournaments that have both, like tournament like Defend the North, Combo Breaker, CEO. Those tournaments all have both my 2 favorite games of all time, and I like to go and I can compete in both. And the Smash tournaments are kind of converting over to some of them, you know, more after you see integration. No MK, it sucks because it would be really cool to be able to go to those tournaments. And I think it does start with the community. People say it's the game, it's NRS, it's WB, and I think there's just a lot of cutting off of our arm to spite our hand, because like, what does not attending a grassroots tournament do to WB? It does nothing. It's the same people that say that they're going to not go to these tournaments and talk down about these tournaments and talk about how when Aquaman said, everyone make some noise for Mortal Kombat, someone with a big platform that I'm not going to name, but it was Tom Brady, said that when they said make some noise for MK, nobody cheered. And there's people commenting like, I was here, a lot of people cheered. The microphone for the commentators that was doing the volume to the stream didn't pick up on it. And it's just like, there's just people that are just like trying to just nitpick anything they can find that they can say negatively about this thing, about the game, which is, you know, I guess it's good to go to WB, but then they use it as a reason that you shouldn't play the game at all, and that kneecaps the competitive community, and kneecaps bridging casual people to competitive players. And there's people with really, really big platforms that have a lot to say and get a lot of people's attention. And that's just a big problem I have, because I used to just sit back and be like, okay, that's just what it is. Like, I came in at the end of Injustice 2. So much talked about that game. MK11, after a couple months, just, this game's terrible, this game sucks. MK1, we just got to a year in. I hear so much bad negativity about it, and I feel like that's common about any game. But it seems to be on another level. Like I said, I'm involved in Smash and stuff like that, and I just don't see it as much. It's maybe I'm not in tune with it, and maybe that's how other communities do work, but it seems like it's getting to the point where it is harming these grassroots communities that are just trying to play the game they really enjoy and get people out and have the stakes be really high and just have some fun and enjoy some time and play some games with their friends. And it really stinks that people who put a lot of time, effort, and money into making these events happen have such short amount of entrances, because that's how they make, you know, a little bit of money on it, if they're even able to do that, and that helps them put on more events, be able to prioritize it more. So it really does think that a lot of people that are keeping the community alive are being kneecapped by people who just love to talk negatively about the game and how people shouldn't go to tournaments and things like that, because that is pretty rampant. But I think that's going to do it, guys. Thank y'all so much for watching the 22nd episode of the Poseidcast. I hope you enjoyed. Make sure to subscribe to this channel if you have not. If you like more of if you like this sort of thing, and like, I'm going to still do the interviews, I'm not going to stop that, but if you want more podcasts like this or videos where I kind of just talk about what's going on in the scene, we're talking about what's going on in Mortal Kombat and anything of that nature, please let me know in the comments that you like this form of video, and I'll try to make more of it. It's fun making it, and I enjoy myself. So thank you guys so much for watching. As I said, subscribe to the channel if you have not, and I'll see you guys at the next video.